Have you ever watched a professional 3D artist work and wondered how they model so fast? The truth is, they are not necessarily working harder. They just know a collection of simple tricks that save hours of work and help them create cleaner and better looking models. In this video, I'm going to show you some tips and tricks and some mistakes that I used to make which really slowed my workflow. Well, actually, the mistakes are more important here than tips and tricks because mistakes really slow you down. Tips just makes you a little faster, but we're gonna take a look at both. Whether you are a beginner trying to improve your skills or an experienced artist looking to work more efficiently, you are guaranteed to find something useful here. Let's jump into the first trick. You have been there. You have got a loop of vertices that needs to be perfect circle. So you start nudging, one vertex at a time. Move it a little left, a little up, rotate, scale, and after 5 minutes, it still looks like a potato. There has to be a better way. Well, there is. And it's been sitting in Blender this whole time. It's called Loop Tools. It's free add-on built and maintained by Blender Foundation itself. You don't download anything. You don't pay anything. You just go to Edit, Preferences, Add-ons, search Loop Tools and enable it. That's it. One checkbox. Now press N in the viewport to open your sidebar and you will see a new tab called Loop Tools appear. This panel looks simple, almost too simple, just a handful of buttons, but each one solves a problem that used to take minutes, or that you didn't even know had a solution. We will not go through all of them, let's just keep it simple in this video. If you want to know more, you can tell me in the comments and I will make a full video about it. But let's take a look at some of them. First is circle. Select any edge loop on your mesh, hit circle. Blender instantly redistributes those vertices into mathematically perfect ring. You use it when you boolean cut a hole into a surface, or when you extrude a circle and the base loop comes out slightly uneven. One click, perfect circle, done. Relax is subtle, but once you know it, you will use it constantly. When you have an edge loop that's technically correct, the right shape, the right position, but the spacing between vertices is uneven and messy. Relax smooths it out. It doesn't flatten your geometry, it just breathes into it, like ironing out wrinkles without changing the shape of the shirt. This is your best friend during retopology work when you need clean, evenly spaced loops that follows the surface. Space is relax's more aggressive sibling. Where relax softly smooths, space mathematically forces equal distance between every single vertex into your selection. Perfect for architectural work, hard surface modeling, or anytime you need mechanical precision. And finally, flatten. Select a loop of vertices that should all sit on the same place, say the rim of a cup or edge of a panel. But because of how you model it, they are slightly off. Flatten, align them all to a perfect plane instantly. If you ever faced a problem that you have done everything correctly, like your mesh is right and you have applied correct modifiers, every other setting is correct, but still the mesh looks messy, it's probably because of the order of modifiers. Blender runs your stack top to bottom. Each modifier works one after another. So basically, if you have three modifiers, the Blender will run the first one first, then second one, and then third one, and so on if you have more. So, for example, if you have mirror modifier, then subdivision modifier, and then a bevel modifier, it will work like this. Firstly, Blender will mirror the mesh because the first one is mirror modifier, and then it will subdivide the mesh, and then at last it will add bevel to the mesh. So let's practically look at how order of modifiers affects our geometry. So to demonstrate, I will take this monkey. I will cut this in half and apply a mirror modifier and subdivision modifier of 2. Now you can see there are no hard edges, right? Even if we scale it. Oh, actually, we need to apply the clipping. You can see there are no hard edges. It is smooth. But if we place the subdivision modifier, Before the mirror modifier, you can see that geometry has changed. See, if we change it again, it changes. If you look at the topology, you can see that it is really hard right here. Like it's really sharp, not hard, but if it was other way around, it would be much smoother. See, now there are no hard edges or sharp edges. This was a little example, but there are more circumstances where it could be even much worse. So that's why order of modifiers matter. Let's say you want to place an object on top of another object. You grab the object, you place it on top, you rotate it a little bit, you move it a little bit. It seems really easy. But when you zoom in, you see that the object has gone into another object. Or maybe there is a little bit of space remaining in between. It really gets on your nerves because no matter how much you try, you are never able to nail it. To solve this problem, Blender has a built in tool called Snap to Surface. It's not even an add on, it's already up there in the Blender. You click on that magnet icon. Actually, you don't even need to click on that. Click on that drop down menu and select Face from the menu. Now grab the object and bring it near the surface you want to place on. Press Ctrl and you will see the object will snap on the surface. Let's assume, actually, why assume? I hope you made a great asset last week. A chair, a tree, a material maybe you spent 2 hours perfecting. Now you are in a project and you need it again. So you start rebuilding it again from scratch. It may take you less time because you have already done it, but I think you should stop doing that. Blender has two ways to pull assets from other files: append and link. Append copies the asset into your current project. It's yours now, fully editable, fully independent. Use this when you want a one time copy you will modify. Link is where it gets powerful. Instead of copying, link creates a live connection back to the original file. Change something in the source file, update the material, fix the geometry, adjust the rig, and every single project linked to it updates automatically. Build a character once, link it into 20 other scenes, fix one thing, everything updates. That's the real time save. And if you set up an asset library in your preferences, just point Blender to a folder on your drive. All your saved assets show up in a drag and drop browser right inside Blender. No hunting through old files, no copy pasting across projects, just drag, drop, and done. Build it once, use it everywhere. That's how pros never waste time rebuilding the same thing twice. Every beginner gets told the same thing: quads only. Never use triangles. Tries are bad. And mostly that's true. But there's one specific situation where triangles are actually completely fine, and nobody talks about it. If you're going to apply subdivision surface to your mesh, triangles stop being a problem. Here's why. Subdivision doesn't just smooth your mesh, it converts everything, quads, tris, n-gons, into quads anyway. So that triangle you were stressing about, Blender quietly handles it. The final smooth results looks clean. There's one catch. If your triangle sits in an area with a lot of curvature around it, a cheek, a knuckle, a curved surface that bends a lot, you will sometimes get a pinch, a slight artifact in that shading. In those spots, yeah, fix the triangle. Redirect the edge flow, clean it up. But if it is sitting in a flat or a low curvature area, leave it, subdivide, and move on. This matters most during the blocking stage, when you are roughing out a shape fast. Forcing perfect quads at every step slows you down for no reason. Block it out, use whatever topology gets the shape right, then subdivide and see if it holds. Most of the time it does. Quads are the goal, but they are not always the rule. Understand why they matter, and you will know exactly when you can break the rule. I'm not saying that you should usually use triangles, but there are some edge cases where you can use them.